Good morning. Good morning, my beautiful friends. This is your wake up call with Maui Paul. I am Maui Paul. We are here today to say some nice things about ourselves. I want to say thank you guys so much for being here. Good morning, Lauren, coming in from Cumming, Dan from Buford. Good morning, Tony, coming in from Florida. Hey, Tony, we've been keeping you in our prayers, certainly keeping your mama in our prayers. I sincerely hope that I hope that her I hope that her passing is a peaceful event, and that her transition is something that is just is just something very very peaceful for her. Anyways, yeah, we are here today to say some nice stuff about us. Pepper is still not feeling all that well, so keep her in your prayers as well. My friend Sandra is out of the hospital now, so thank you to those of you who have been praying for her. And let's just continue to keep those who are sick, in our prayers and our thoughts as we go through our days, because the fact is that ultimately, sometimes we aren't feeling good either. Sometimes we are also sick. Sometimes we are also unwell, and those other people are doing it for us. Anyhow, so yeah, we're here to do the same thing we do every morning on Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. Pepper has prepared for us some more cards. We Yesterday we went through the I Am Magical card, and it looks like she's going with like a celestial theme this week. But let's see where she's taking it. Anyways, I'm going to ask you if you are the affirmation on the card. We are going to respond out loud together. I am that affirmation. And then as we do this, and as we continue to build into ourselves, build into our lives, we are ultimately equipping ourselves with what we need for the day ahead. So let's have some fun, and let's pull a card and say that today I am adaptable. I am adaptable. I adjust easily to new situations. So I am adaptable. I adjust easily to new situations. Are you adaptable? You are adaptable. You adjust easily to new situations. I'm going to write that down in the comments. I encourage you to do the same thing. As we write this stuff down, it engages a different part of our brain, and it ultimately helps us to really bring things into our reality. There was a very famous psychological study where groups of college students were asked to predict how well they were going to do on a test. And the first group of college students was in this psychological study was encouraged to write down their findings and share them with the group. So they basically they all studied some material, and then they wrote down what the grade was that they thought they would get, and they shared it with the group. The second group of college students was encouraged to, they were instructed to again, once again, read the material, and then write down the grade that they thought that they would get, but then not share it with the group. They actually wrote it on they wrote on this the researcher called it a magic board, but basically it was just this thing where they wrote down they wrote down their prediction, and then it was like an etch a sketch kind of a thing. They wrote down their prediction, and then they erased it before showing it to anybody. They knew what it was, but nobody else did. And the third group wasn't encouraged to do anything. Well, the researchers unsurprisingly found that the people who had written it down and shared it with the group were the people who most accurately, the ones who just most accurately lived up to their own predictions. And so there's tremendous amount of power in writing this stuff down, and in just writing it down and sharing it, because we will live up to our own expectations of ourselves. And so let's set expectations of ourselves that are good. Let's set expectations of ourselves that are high. I have a practice that I have adopted. Instead of making my to-do list, I need lists in order to keep organized, because otherwise my brain will go all over the place like a pinball all through life. So I need lists to keep organized. But I always hated the concept of a to-do list, because, well, the to-do list was always just the stuff that I would figure out how to put off until 2 hours before the day was over, and then panic and get it all done all at once, and never as well as I hoped that I would. And so I changed the verbiage of my to-do list. I still write it down, But I write it down now. It's a today I am list, and so I write today I am dot dot dot, and then I complete the sentences with the things that I purpose to do for today. And I've noticed that as I've started to do this, that I accomplish all of that stuff, and even when I'm not really, even when I'm not intending to accomplish things, I recognize that I'm getting them done subconsciously. Like it's a way that I was just able to reprogram my brain simply by changing the verbiage. It wasn't to do; it was just today I am doing. And then when I get done with it, I don't cross it off. It used to be so fun for me to cross things off, but why would I want to cross stuff off of my list? So what I do now is I highlight it to remind myself that I accomplished this thing, so I can look back at my notebook, and instead of having a bunch of crossed out words that are the ones that I have desired to do. In fact, the ones that I've achieved, I have a bunch of highlighted words to remind me that I've achieved this stuff. And so, for me, changing my to-do list up into a today I am list is a manifestation of my own adaptability, a recognition that as I've learned new skills, that I've just been able to I've been able to just change the techniques I use in order to still accomplish the same stuff, but just to accomplish it in a more joyful way, in a more easeful way. And so I am adaptable. I adjust easily to new situations. And let's be real, life is always serving us new situations. Every single one of us is dealing with new situations today than we did yesterday. And sometimes those new situations are things that are, just very, very new and strange. My heart goes out to you, Tony. When I lost my dad, it was a new situation. It was something that was like, I woke up with the realization that I couldn't call him anymore, that I couldn't talk to him anymore, that all the conversations we could ever have been had. And that realization to me was like, it also made me realize, I'm like, okay, well, I'm in a different stage of life now. It hit home. And so it required some adjustment. And so, like I said, my heart goes out to you, and communally, our prayers go out to you and to your mother as well, and to everybody else who is, in the hospital right now, and who is suffering through pain and illness. We understand that we also have these issues in our lives. And so when we have them, other people who are doing this for us, it can be a great comfort. And so we are always constantly, consistently being served up a new situation. And the only difference between stumbling blocks and stepping stones is the way that we use them. Life is going to throw stuff in our path, and what are we going to do with that? Are we going to use those stumbling blocks to trip over them and fall on our face, or are we going to pick them up and build something out of them? Are we going to say, oh, this isn't here, this was not placed here in my way in order to make my life more difficult. This was placed here so that I could build with it, so I could build a solid foundation for the person that I'm becoming. Every single one of us has come across situations that we didn't think that we could handle, and yet in my life, that up until this point, I've managed to handle it. Perhaps some things I've handled better than others, and perhaps in some ways I've met my own expectations better than others. Just yesterday, I realized that I missed a meeting with somebody that I requested a meeting, and then I absolutely forgot about it, and that was my own failure. That was my own that was my own screw up. And as I did that, I was like, wait a minute, this isn't an opportunity for me to beat myself up. This is an opportunity for me to grow as a person, to say, okay, well, let's fix the systems that broke, let's put new things in place so that doesn't happen twice, so that I can be more congruent with my own values. And so I am adaptable. I adjust easily to new situations. And part of adjusting easily to new situations is knowing what our desired outcomes are, knowing that we purpose to do a specific thing, and then being able to adjust easily to that. And so life itself is a series of adapting to this new stuff that's going on. And so as life comes at us today, I just encourage you to adjust easily to it, to say, okay, this is new, and this too shall pass, whatever it is. And because it will pass, it gives us hope. It gives us confidence that everything else that we've ever gone through in our whole life, that we weren't sure how we were going to make it through it, we made it through it, and it turned us into the people that we are today. And if I'm being honest with myself, even though I've done all manner of things in life that I wouldn't do twice, um, if I'm being honest, I would still do them once, because they built the person who's right here today. So I am adaptable. You are adaptable as well. We adjust easily to new situations, and ultimately, life itself is consistently serving us new situations to adapt to. I want to say thank you guys so much for being here. Yeah, once again, Tony, we got you in our prayers. We are calling ease and grace and peace into your life, into your mother's life, into your family's life, into all the folks who are, who know her and who are going to be affected, as she makes a transition. And we just want to really pour love into you and into your family during this time. Thank you to everybody who was, thank you to all the prayer warriors out there who understand that all of us, if we haven't gone through this yet, will eventually go through this, and have that empathy. I will talk to you guys tomorrow at 9 a.m. We'll come back with another one of these. Until then, I love you. I appreciate you. I care about you deeply, and I sincerely hope that you understand that I'm here for you, and you can reach out to me if you need to. I'll talk to y'all tomorrow at 9 a.m. Hopefully, we can get Pepper on the wake up call again here shortly. But she is sleeping right now. I'm going to go take care of her. So, yeah, once again, love you, appreciate you, care about you. We'll talk to you tomorrow at 9. And until then, aloha from paradise.